2 minutes until showtime. One minute until showtime.
Yeah. Yay. Yeah, that was a little bit, but yeah, it was okay. That's all right. We'll let it go. Thank you.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, from the world's most famous beach, from where beach racing began, it's the Legends of Racing radio show. Live from racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill in Ponce Inlet, Florida. The Legends of Racing radio show. And your host, Buzz McKim. And co-host, Rich Combs.
All righty. Thank you, everybody. And this is me, but that's not him. Rich is out of town this week. We've got Tony, the answer man. Or the question man, I should say.
Questions, yeah.
Hey, Tony, see, he's got your own rooting section here, huh? That's great. Well, we have a great show today. I'm really looking forward to this. And I thought I knew a lot about this guy, and I come to find out I don't know half of what I thought I knew. And I was going around telling everybody that he had 3 Busch Series championships. It turned out it was 4. So I got to go back and tell everybody that it was 4 and not 3. So sorry about that.
No problem,
Okay,
man.
good. And Mr. Steve Bird, everybody, known as Birdie.
Thank you.
Won championships with Rob Moroso. Was that the back-to-back?
No, Robbie was in '89, Johnny Benson in '95, and Randy 6 and 7.
Okay. Yep, there you go. So that was a lot of work, wasn't it?
It's a lot of work, period, working on a race car. Yeah, you know, Buzz, you know these 2 guys over here?
Oh, those 2 over there?
They're real bad instigators. So
Oh, I
keep your eye on
know.
them, you know.
Well, I didn't tell the sheriff they were going to be here today, so they should be okay. The bad news. They're Yankees is what it is, you know. So, well, you're a Yankee too, aren't you? New Hampshire?
Yep, originally from New Hampshire.
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey.
Moved out of New Hampshire in 77 down to Madison, Connecticut, where I joined Race Hill Farms.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed there until, I think it was 80 we moved.
Oh, really?
81
Yeah,
to
down
Charlotte.
to yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had, let's see, who were some of the drivers you had? Harry Gant, didn't you?
Oh, man, Rob Moroso, Kenny Wallace, Steve Grissom, Johnny Benson, Randy LaJoy. I worked for David Pearson, Dave Blaney.
I'd like to find out about that Pearson thing. When were you with David?
It had to be right around 81, right after we moved to something.
Right.
You know, David If was, it was before that because David If come to work for Race Hill Farms.
Okay.
And he moved up in Connecticut. David's probably the one that got us finally to move, you know. But we got before that, David says, I'm going to work for David Pearson. He says, you want to come with me? I want you to help. So I said, fine. So here I loaded up me and my wife, and we moved down to Travelers Rest, South Carolina.
Travelers Rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be
Good
darned.
little dirt track there.
Is it
Travelers
really?
Speedway, yeah.
Oh, no kidding. I'll be darned.
But that was for Bobby Hawkins, and so I was there about almost a year. And I had a good time with David. Dave was a great guy. You know, he knew what he wanted on a race car and stuff.
Yeah. He was pretty sharp, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then Jack Beebe called me back, and he says, hey, really, I want you to come back to Racewell Farms. I thought about it, and I said, well, I'll go back.
Yeah.
You know, because I really liked Jack. Jack was a great guy. And stayed there a few more years, and then Dick Moroso came to me, and he says, hey, listen, I want to run my son 2 years in Daytona Dash.
Oh, boy.
And then I want to go to Busch Car, and then maybe a few years after that, go to Winston Car. So I thought about that for a while, and I said, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Had a lot of fun running Daytona Dash Car. I think we won about 8 races in it in 2 years.
Oh, really?
But it should have been a lot more. We moved motors every other week.
But there was not a lot of pressure in that series, was there?
No, but when you're working for a father and son, there's always pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Because this one did this, and it's my fault or my fault.
Oh, geez.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
When did you build the smaller dash car that got you in trouble with NASCAR?
No, that was a Busch car.
Oh,
well,
okay.
I did get in trouble with a car about that. Yeah, yeah, that was a good fast car. You know? But the one in the Busch series got me in more trouble than anything. You know.
Oh, jeez.
You know, just like anything, you know, you're going to build something to be better. And I had a truck, torque arm in it, and it was a 3-point, and there was no roll cage rules, you know. So I made the roll cage real small. You know, and I went by the book, you know. The great pages, but I went by the book. So we went out, we sat on a pole, won a race with it. Sat on the pole the next week and finished second, and Robert Black come to me and he says, we don't want you running this car no more.
Really?
And I says, huh? He says, you can't run it. I says, why? It's built to the rules. He says, no, it's not. You can't run it no more. Don't bring it back.
What'd they get you on?
Excuse me. It's just that they said it was too small.
Oh, geez.
But there was no roll cage rule or anything. You know?
Oh, but did they have a template?
Oh, no.
No template?
No.
Oh, that makes it nice.
You know? So, I think it was about a year later there was a roll cage width rule and height and everything else.
Okay.
You know?
Who was your driver then?
Moroso.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he could really push the button down, couldn't he?
Yep. Robbie, very, very talented.
Yeah.
He loves Charlotte. You know, we won 3 in a row at Charlotte, you know.
Yeah.
It's quite the event there, you know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and then I saw him lap the entire field at Volusia in the one Busch race. But now you talked about how you had won like 4 Busch races out there?
They had 4 Busch races there, and out of the 4, I won 3 of them.
Jeez.
With Robbie and Kenny Wallace and Steve Grissom.
Really? Well, that's great. And old Kenny, was he always kind of a clown?
Oh, yeah, Kenny was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, Rusty was a lot of fun too. But Kenny was so easy to get along with. You know, there wasn't much that bothered him. You know? He's still a great guy. Matter of fact, at Volusia last year, he won a race before the World Series started down there. And he had me come down and get his picture and check the flag, you know, and victory lane.
Awesome.
So it was cool, you know.
That's really neat. Well, he's a racer too.
Yep.
He is a racer.
He loves racing. He'd race every night of the week.
Oh, sure.
You know, but it's hard for him. That stuff don't pay much money, and even though he's got a sponsor, he can't pay nobody.
No.
So he did the right thing for who wasn't beating himself up.
Yep.
Running a couple of nights close.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll drive anything. He goes to other places and drive other people's car. He'll drive somebody else's car in a minute.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll tell you in a heartbeat that he was the guy who got Earnhardt his last win.
Yep.
And he kind of, had
Drafted up to him.
Drafted all the way to the front of the pack. That was amazing. I was exhausted when that race was over. Man, I was pooped.
The last 10 laps.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, you remember that race, don't you, Tony? Yeah. Yeah, that was really something.
Something unfamiliar to us down here, you raced snowmobiles for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I think I raced probably about 10 years, you know.
Really? I'll be darned. Can you hang them out? You know, power slide? And all
Well, you
that?
did a little bit of everything back then. You run on good flat tracks, ice tracks, and then tracks that had 3-foot hills on them, you know.
Oh, my gosh.
But I was kind of an outlaw on the snowmobiles. You had your USSA big series that paid big money, and I'd go there a few times. And I like to go, you know, I'd go to Weedsport, New York, and Wednesday night, Troy, New Hampshire on a Friday night, Ware, New Hampshire on Saturday night, and then Sunday, wherever paid the most money, you know. So I did good. I made my living with it, you know, good 8 years.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I'll be darned. Well, that's amazing. So racing's been in your blood since the early days, huh?
Kind of. My dad was ran Hudson Speedway. He was a handicapper there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I done everything. I sold seats there, you know, the seat backs. I sold popcorn. Then I sold tickets, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always been a part of your life.
Yep.
That's
You were
amazing.
an announcer also, weren't you?
Yep. Yeah. Hudson Speedway and Pine Speedway. I was an announcer for, I don't know, 5-6 years doing that.
Really?
Yeah. One day, I guess the announcer called and said he couldn't come, he quit or something. And Oscar's there to own the track with my father. And all of a sudden, Oscar looked at me and he says, "You're a new announcer." You know, here I'm 14 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
You're kidding.
Yep.
I would like to have been there.
I still got the saying, though.
What's that?
Good afternoon, racing fans. Welcome to the Hudson Speedway.
Oh, man, that's beautiful. Very impressive. Very impressive. Yeah, you'll never go without a buck there, you know. You can always get an announcing job.
Yeah.
You come up with that on your own?
No, I got that from the announcer before.
Oh, okay. I got you. But it worked out well. Yeah, so when did you, well, you actually drove stock cars, though, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you never did?
No, when I was racing snowmobiles, I got hooked up with a guy, Pete Van Decker,
Oh, yeah.
in about, I think, 71 or something. And I'd help him during the summer, work for him. You know, had a lot of fun, won a lot of races in New England. And I'd race my snowmobiles in the winter.
I'll be darned. Yeah, that's, you got to have the best of both worlds then, didn't you?
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, that's awesome. Very good. So then you made a name for yourself, I guess, up there, right? And did Jack Beebe come looking for you?
Well, Bob Johnson did, because Bob Johnson built me and Peter's Motors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Old Bob was quite the guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a warm and fuzzy kind of fella?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He could be rough, couldn't he?
We was 12 o'clock at night one night, and we're working on the race cars. He's building a motor. And Jack Beebe's out there trying to help us, you know. And Jack says, "Birdie, what can I do next?" I says, "Jack, take that lid and put in that rail there, you know." So I'm up the other end of the shop, and all of a sudden I hear bang, bang, bang. I turn around, Jack's got a sledgehammer. He's trying to beat this lid in the rail.
Oh, my gosh.
I says, "Oh, no." So I walks down there. I says, "Jack, you can't do that. You got to grind it and clean it for it runs straight." And all of a sudden, Bob Johnson comes walking out of the motorhome. He says, "What was that banging I hear out here?" And then all of a sudden, he looked down and seen the lead, you know, curled in the rail. He says, "God damn it, Birdie, you know better than this."
Oh, jeez.
I'm standing there, and I'm looking at Jack. Johnson picks up the big sledgehammer, throws it through the wall.
Holy cow.
It lands about 4 foot from Jack Beebe's brand new Rolls Royce.
Oh, my gosh.
So I look at Jack while he's going back there, and I look at him. He says, "Don't worry, Birdie. I'll tell him tomorrow when he's calmed down."
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Jack Beebe made his money in school buses, didn't
Yep, yeah,
he? Yeah, he was a school bus guy.
yeah. Well, he had most of Connecticut.
Yeah, he did real good.
Yep,
And he was a real decent fellow, too, wasn't he?
yeah, real good
Yeah.
person.
I met his son, lives out here at Spruce Creek. I guess he's still living there now.
Yep,
Real nice fellow.
Mike,
We're going to get him on the show one of these days to talk about his father.
yeah,
Yeah, that'd be great. And he's got a nice little collection of cars, Mike does.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. So did you ever get the itch to race, though? Did you ever want to get behind the wheel?
Well, yeah, one time I did. One time, let's put it one way, I got forced into it. A couple of my buddies that owned modifieds, you know, they knew real good, and I'd go help, you know, John Smith and Carlton Roby. You know, they come in Hudson Speedway at $1,000 a win a week or something for these a stock car, a regular street car.
1,000 to win.
Well, yeah, that was a big show. It started it 3 weeks before that show. And they both looked at me and says, now it's our turn to holler at you. So they put me in it. I ran good the first couple weeks, finished in the top 10. The big race, I got out there in the heat, and it just stopped. So I pulled in and everything, and they couldn't find out, looked at the road or everything. Finally, it was out of gas.
Oh, man, are
so
you
the
kidding
driver
me?
could holler at the crew again.
Good for you. Good for you. I hope you gave him a hard time.
And then I did finally make the race because there had to be 60, 70 cars there, and I started in the rear, and I got up to about fourth, and then it blew the rear end up.
Oh, son of a gun.
But that was my only time driving.
Yeah.
Other than I have done a lot of tests, and I did drive Robbie's car a lot.
Oh, did you really?
He was in school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was still in high school, wasn't he? Jeez, that's something else. So
That's pretty interesting that that Robbie did so well. When you hear a lot of times, when the family's got money and they're putting into it, that's kind of held in poor regard.
Yeah.
But he really did well.
You hear a lot of people say, well, the kid had money,
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I run a strict, I was getting hollered at that all the time. I run a strict, team that we didn't spend no money. Well, little money, let's put it that way. We didn't go out and spend everything to buy everything. People say, oh, big money. I wasn't allowed to spend.
Really?
We did what we had.
Yeah. So you didn't have the deep, deep pockets then, huh?
No.
I'll be darned. Well, he did the best he could with what he had, and he did fantastic, didn't
Yep.
he? Yeah. Poor guy. We lost him on the highway. And he was only, 21?
Yep.
21 years old. There's no telling how far he could have gone because he had made it to Cup. And there's no telling, how far he could have gone if he had survived. He might have had a few championships by now.
Yeah.
Never can tell. But that NASCAR was going through a really tough time there. They lost so many people right around that time. And you had Kowicki and Allison, and geez, it just seemed like it never stopped,
Yeah. Yeah. It's part of life.
Yeah, that's for sure. So after Moroso, after Robbie, you had Randy.
No, after Robbie, I went to Steve Grissom. He won his first 5 races. I was there for 4 of them, the first 4.
Oh man!
And then I went to Kenny Wallace. And just happened that time I left was a week before Martinsville, and we were first with Kenny, and Steve was second. And we ran out of gas on the last lap. And Steve won.
Oh man, is that right? You have trouble with gas there, don't you? That's funny. Oh well. It happens in the best of families,
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure. We're going to take our first break with Steve Bird. We'll be right back after this message.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. At Beach Boys Embroidery and Tees, it's all about making you happy. Beach Boys Embroidery can customize your athletic golf apparel, caps, hats, badges, buttons, magnets, backpacks, bags, totes, clocks, watches, and of course, T-shirts. Sure, they're at 2033 South Ridgewood Avenue in South Daytona, and they're waiting for you to call now. 386-255-5880. Beach Boys Embroidery and Tees. Let Aloha Marine get you on the water with huge discounts on great brands like Bayliner, Carolina Skiff, Hurricane, Key West, and Regal. Pay as little as $169 a month with 10% down and approved credit. Don't wait. Get to Aloha Marine, 1700 North Nova Road, Holly Hill, Monday through Saturday. 47 years and always better than boat show prices. We're back from where it all began. Racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host, Buzz McKim, and co-host, Rich Combs.
No, make that Tony. Yes, thank you. And this segment's being brought to you locally by Staples on International Speedway Boulevard. Anything you need for the office, they can do it for you. Packing, shipping, shredding, printing, you name it. They're amazing. They're just tremendous. I'm so in awe of them. What they do, I'm tongue-tied. And also, if you want to check out all our shows, you can go to Legends of Racing Radio Show on the Facebook page. And we're going to have new information next week on how you can reach us. And while you're on Facebook, if you hit like and share, we can appreciate that. But like I say, we have a whole new deal coming next week, and we'll be sure to let you know. So when you worked for Pearson, was he driving his own car, or did he drive for Joel Halpern? And how'd that go?
No, Bobby Hawkins, Carolina Tool.
Oh, sure, the Carolina Tool car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's he had been driving for a guy named Joel Halpern, who was going to come on like Rick Hendrick. I mean, he was going to come big time. He had the best people. He had Pearson as a driver, great equipment, and he was killed in a speedboat wreck. Yeah. And that was the end of the team. Yeah. And then Pearson, I guess he went to Bobby Hawkins after that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How was Bobby to work for?
Bobby Hopkins?
Yeah.
Oh, Bobby Hopkins is a great guy.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, matter of fact, there David F. and all, we all drank at night. We drank the beer.
That's hard to believe.
One day, Bobby brought over a limousine.
Oh.
So it sat, 6 in the back and 3 in the front. And we were drinking one night looking at that thing. Mm-hmm. We had to bring it in. We had to paint it pink.
Oh, jeez. Are you kidding?
No, we used to go to different, we'd go down to Travis Rest Pit race speedway there, and David Pierce would be with us, and he'd be driving, and there's one time he went through the gate and right out in the racetrack driving this pink Cadillac around. We're looking at all these people.
Whose car was it?
That was Bobby Hopkins. He gave it to the race team,
Oh, geez. And did you get it painted pink?
Painted it pink.
I'll be darned. Did he have anything to say about that?
He laughed about it.
Really?
They put bull horns on the front and everything. It was just something fun for us to do,
Oh, that's great. Pearson, he loved to have a good time, didn't he?
Yep.
And the big practical joker.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a little crazy. Didn't drink that much, I don't think.
Nope.
No. He was just crazy all by himself.
Yeah.
But what a natural ability he had. He was incredible.
Yeah. Look at the guy. He won something like 12 poles at Charlotte.
Yeah, at Charlotte. That's right. Yeah, and then he and Petty finished first and second 63 times to each other, and Pearson won 33 of them, and Petty won 30 of them. So that shows you how tough they both were back in those days.
Exactly.
Really something. Hey, I had something neat happen this week. We had the closest finish at Kansas last week, .001, and the next closest was .002, which was back in '03, back when Ricky Craven beat Kurt Busch at Darlington. Yeah, that was .002. Yeah. So anyway, this is the closest it's ever been, and if they tied, they would have given a win to whoever led the most laps, which was Kyle, and he led 63, and poor old Chris led 54. So, they were on top of the world for about half a lap, and then they got the word that what's his face, old Kyle Larson had won the race. But I got contacted by Dale Jr.'s people this week, and they wanted me to be on the Dale Jr. download, and they had a couple of folks on there talking about closest finishes and all that, and I gave them some information that they didn't know, that there actually was a tie in NASCAR, Grand National or Winston Cup or Cup racing back in 74, the 1974 Firecracker 400 here at Daytona. Buddy Baker and Cale Yarborough finished dead to even, and it was considered a tie. If you look on the race report, it has tie on there, and for some reason, Cale won $50 more than Buddy Baker did. But they didn't know that, and I thought that was kind of neat to get that information out there, that there actually was a tie in NASCAR, not for the win, but for third place.
I heard when there is a tie and they have to, you were right, how who led the most laps in first.
Right.
If that's still a tie, who led the most laps in second?
That's right.
Third?
Yep.
They go through the whole field.
Oh, sure.
To figure out.
We got to have a winner.
Well, I heard Chris Buescher on Sirius, and he said, They use timing and scoring for qualifying, you know, the lap count, everything else. The only thing they use the photo for is the finish.
I'll be darned.
Gee, you know?
It's kind of interesting, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, if you're one more coat of paint, and Chris might have won that race.
Well,
Yeah.
they got a wire down through there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
They knew who won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Well, they didn't have a, excuse me, they didn't have a camera set up at Daytona here in '59 for the first Daytona 500, and Bill France Sr. figured the chances of them having a close finish after 500 miles was going to be literally none, you know. So it looks like they were going to have a close finish. So Bill climbed down from the press box, and he was standing under the flag stand. If you look at that picture of Beauchamp and Petty coming across the line, you'll see a guy standing there under the flag stand, and that was Bill France Sr., so that he could tell who won the race. Well, Joe Weatherly was a lap down, and he was on the outside, so he blocked Bill's view. So Bill had to put an APB out for anybody who had film or photos of that finish. And finally, T. Taylor Warren's photo told the tale that Lee Petty had actually won the race by 2 feet. And Petty said, heck, I could have told you that. He said, as we crossed the line, I looked over and I saw Beauchamp's front end. But poor Johnny, he got to go down to the victory lane and kiss the trophy girl and all that stuff. And then they had to take that all back. That's a darn shame. Were you ever involved in a close finish like that?
Man, none I can remember.
No.
I was always lucky I had a good car and I won.
Yeah, that's right. Touche.
I heard you also worked with Morgan Shepherd.
Yeah. But I was there at Race Hill there when, at the end there when he won here at Atlanta. Yeah, that was about the close to the end of Race Hill Farms right there.
Yeah. Was he roller skating then?
Hey, he's been roller skating all his life, you know. And he's pretty damn good at it.
Yeah.
Yes, he really is. He's no spring chicken either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what caused Race Hill to go belly up, or did he just pull the plug?
He just, you know, got tired of it. He was getting old, and
Yeah.
and anything you get tired of it, you don't enjoy it no more.
Sure.
You're saying that's it.
Yeah, and he had made a statement. You know, he showed what they were capable of. That's for sure.
But,
Yeah.
but like I said, at first it was when we won Talladega, it was all New England people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who would ever think, you know, 6 guys from New England would win at Talladega?
Yeah,
You know?
boy, that was neat. That was really nice. It showed them that, you know, other folks can win too.
Yeah.
Yep. Have you been to the museum in New Hampshire?
Not yet.
No, I hear it's fantastic.
Yeah. I've been to Bentley's museum.
Oh, you've been to Bentley's?
Oh yeah, drinking beer all night with them.
Of course, you got to drink beer. Is it a pretty good museum?
Yeah, Bentley does a nice job up there.
Yeah.
He's got a real nice saloon and restaurant, and
Yeah.
2 huge buildings with a lot of, you know, antique cars and race cars. And
Oh
stuff.
boy,
And
he's great. He's a good friend of the show too. He's been on a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Bentley.
yeah,
He's
a great
really
guy.
awesome. Yeah, he and Lisa both. They're
Yep.
just wonderful people. That's for sure.
My dad got in a bad accident at Star Speedway, 72 something, 71, 70,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when Bentley was driving at USAC,
Oh yeah, right.
and you had to have permission to run out of USAC. You know? Well, he was at Star Speedway, their big classic race up there, and he was under some other name because he didn't have permission,
Oh,
and throttle stuck down the back straightaway
jeez.
and went right up in the middle of the turn into
Holy
4.
cow.
And there's a wall there with all the cars come out. My father and the cop are standing there.
Oh my gosh.
And it hit my father and cop.
Really?
And the cop lost both legs right there. And
Holy
my father was
cow.
lucky he got the tire. It was pretty bad, you know.
Yeah.
And, but Bentley got hurt pretty good too. He
Did he?
turned his heart and his rib cage broke and broke a leg.
Golly.
And they're both in the same hospital for beginning there. And as soon as Bentley could get out of bed, you know, he was right in to see my father all the time, you know.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, so, but Bentley's been great to me ever since,
Yeah.
you know, and he's a great guy.
Oh, it's first class. That's for sure. I'm glad he gets all the good stuff. I think that's neat. He spends a lot of time in California, I believe.
Riding his bike, yep.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's why he closed that place down up there 3 or 4 months.
Oh, really? So he can go bike riding?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, what a life. I want to be him when I grow up. That would be awesome. That's for sure. Yeah, now, when you were working with Randy LaJoy. Now he's quite the character too, isn't
Yeah, he's kind of a clown.
he? You know, he got you back-to-back championships,
Yep.
though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
How Randy got the job running for us? Jack told me he wanted to let Jack Sprigg go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that Bill would rather. And I said, man, if you're going to do that, wait till the end of the year. And Bill says, no, that's it. So we had no driver for a weekend at South Boston, and he says, well, find us somebody. So I said, well, yeah, Randy ain't doing nothing. You know, I says, Randy LaJoy. He says, who's he?
Oh, geez.
And so he's a Bushnoff champion, you know, and won a lot of modified races. You know, he's a good friend of mine. I think he's pretty good. He can do it. You know? So he says, okay, get him, see if we can do it. And he says, you see that big blue toolbox over there? I said, yeah. He says, if you finish in the top 5, I'm going to give that to you.
Wow.
So I said, okay.
Great.
So sure as how we go, and we qualified second. You know, we led a ton of laps. We were leading easily with 20 to go. A lap car got in the back of Randy or something. The aluminum in the back come loose and was rubbing on the tire and smoking.
Oh, man.
So they black flagged us come in and everything, but we pulled it out and he went back out and we still finished 4th.
Really?
So I got that
You
big
got
blue
the
toolbox.
toolbox. Beautiful. Well, that's nice. Determination, that's what it's all about,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Hey, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back with Steve Bird.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. Racing's original North Turn is our broadcast headquarters. If you're looking for a good drink, great entertainment, and the best in food, they're right on the beach at Racing's Original North Turn. Come on down to dinner tonight. Here are a couple of testimonials. These are actual testimonials from people who have enjoyed the North Turn. Been there many times, always great food and drinks, great location on the beach. And another, what a great experience. It's my new favorite restaurant in the Daytona Beach area, Racing's Original North Turn on South Atlantic Avenue. That's A1A in Ponce Inlet, about 3.2 miles south of the Dunlawton Bridge and A1A intersection. It's Racing's Original North Turn, a restaurant, museum, bar, gift shop, live music. That's Racing's North Turn. Racing's Original North Turn has been voted by you Best Beach Bar Top 10 year after year after year. We're back from where it all began. Racing's Original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host Buzz McKim and co-host Rich Combs.
Or better known as Tony. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate that. And this segment is being brought to you locally by the Daytona Flea and Farmers Market, voted one of the top 5 markets in the country by USA Weekend. Visit our Shop Now network and our Shop Now at Daytona Flea and Farmers Market Facebook page for the latest in vendor tours. And my sister just showed me that Kenny Wallace just posted something on his Facebook page. He's on the Kyle Petty charity ride.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he said that he's been drafting Richard. Richard is riding a trike at 87 years old. He said, old Richard just took me right to the front of the pack. That's pretty
I got a few pictures of it, right? I was reading it before I come in.
That's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Never too old to have fun, right? Yeah. We got Larry. How you doing, bud?
Hi, guys.
Good. What you got today, Larry?
Hi, Steve, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I know that you crew chief Robbie Moroso, and he was a hell of a young man. It's a shame that he died so young. But Johnny Benson was one of my favorites, being from Michigan. And I know you crew chief Johnny. Did you guys won a championship together?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yep, 95.
And what was your favorite race with Johnny? Can you put a...
It's probably in '94 when he first started driving for us, Idova. You know, he just passed Harry Gant and went on to win the race. You know, that was a good race.
Yeah, he was tough. I watched him race Auto City. I watched him race a lot of ARCA races.
Yeah.
You know, when we were younger,
Him and his father are great people. One of the greatest people I know.
Another family. That's always a family affair. I like that very much. So.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here.
So
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Appreciate it, Larry. Thank you. The old Johnny Benson looked more like an accountant
Yeah.
than a race driver, didn't he?
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I called him at first, I said, "We'd like you to drive a car if you want, you know, a bush car, you know." kind of talked a little bit. I said, come on down, we'll free up for a seat here. You know? He said, well, I want to win the ASG championship, so I can't run all the races this year. You know? I said, Johnny, that's fine. So we'll go after it next year, you know. But when he first walked in, I really never seen a picture of him. I knew he won a bunch of races, ASA. I said, Professor who? No, but he's a great guy.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a car from him for the Hall of Fame. He donated one of the cars.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Was that when he was sponsored by Valvoline?
No, Valvoline was Winston Company. His ASA car and stuff was Berger or something, Berger Chevrolet.
Yeah, how about when you won the championship? I'm trying to think of what the sponsor was for that one.
Lipton Tea.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lipton Tea come on in '95 and had a pretty good year with them.
Yeah, they treated you pretty good, Lipton? Yeah. Did you get a lot of free tea?
A lot of free tea.
Sure.
That was good. I could take that. But when we had Swisher Sweets with Robbie,
Oh, yeah.
I got cases and cases of cigars I had in the shed. I couldn't give them away then, you know. But
And he was underage. What are they doing giving him cigars, right?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's something else. You know, how did you get the deal with Randy? I think, did you already talk about that?
yeah. When we finished fourth at Orange County.
That's right.
That's when Bill Bob Gunn said, hey,
Yeah.
maybe this will work out.
There you go. You know, his championship, that was with Moroso?
Who?
Randy's.
No,
No.
all with Base Motorsports. Bill
Oh,
Bob
Base
Gunn.
Motorsports. That's
Yeah.
right. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, he's quite the character. He doesn't. He has no filter when
Not
he's
at all.
talking. No.
Not at all.
No, I saw him speak at a Rotary Club meeting one time, and it was pretty hilarious. I hope nobody was recording it.
When I got inducted to the New England Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
they told me Randy was going to do the talking and present me the thing.
Right.
I said to myself, oh boy, this could be bad. But he went good, so you know.
So you're in the New England Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty darn good. How about that, guys? That's fantastic. Yeah, how long ago did that take place?
I think it was 218.
Oh, is that right?
I think, yeah, 218 and
Yeah.
219.
Who went in with you?
Oh, God. I know the Fuller brothers,
Oh, really?
Jeff and Ricky Fuller,
That's good.
Ben Dodge.
Oh, Ben Dodge. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good man.
I forget, it's long time. 4 years ago is a long time for an old man, you know?
You got to watch that beer.
Yeah. I'm starting to get fascinated with race car haulers and stuff and how did you get the cars and the teams to the tracks?
Well, at first, when we run the dash car, we just had a trailer and a box truck with Robbie. But then at the end of the first year, everybody remember Morrison, the drag racer? Who the hell drove for him? I forget. Buddy Morrison. Somebody else drove. He passed away there. They had a straight job truck. GMC and low mileage. And Dick says, well, I bought this truck from Morrison in Shepherd. You want to go down and get it? I said, oh, yeah, no problem. I said, where is it? He's Arlington, Texas.
Texas.
So I got on a plane, went to Texas, and it was good. I met Shepherd and seen their machine shop and everything, Buddy Morrison, and they were big drag races back in the late 80s and stuff.
Did you get any ideas from their shop that you could apply to your shop?
Not really.
No, it's like apples and oranges, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Mr. Steve Bird after this message.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing Radio Show. Daytona Flea and Farmers Market is still the one for great savings and the best variety. Whether you need flowers and trees for your home or you're looking for great prices on Daytona Beach souvenirs, the market is the place to go. The market features 1,000 booths, 2 air-conditioned malls, a restaurant, and 9 snack shacks. Hops Grill features gourmet burgers and garden blend salads. Treat yourself to a great variety of brat and hot dog creations at the Dog House, or enjoy a refreshing drink at the Seltzer Oasis. The market is open every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and is 90% undercover, so you can shop rain or shine. There's never a charge for parking or admission. Enjoy our monthly classic car cruise-in on the first Saturday of every month, and garage sale weekend, the third weekend of every month. See all we have to offer at DaytonaFleaMarket.com or like us on Facebook. Discover Daytona's most unique shopping experience, the Daytona Flea and Farmers Market, just a mile west of the Speedway. We're back from where it all began, racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host Buzz McKim and co-host Rich Combs.
Better known as Tony this week. And Rich is out gallivanting around South Carolina, having a good time. I'm sure he'll be back next week, though, so don't get too comfortable over there.
Buzz, I always try to ask you a question.
Oh, okay.
And I quit doing the stump. I just made myself look foolish doing that. So now I ask questions that I know he knows the answer to.
Oh,
but I want to hear the story.
Okay.
We're going to Darlington.
Yes.
The Lady in Black.
Yes. The Lady in
Doesn't
Black.
sound like a good name for a racetrack. Where did that come from?
Yeah, that came a number of years ago. The PR department came up with that. They wanted to come up with something kind of classy, and it's such an uncertain racetrack. You know, it's like you meet this lady in black, and then she takes you down the wrong road. You know, and you bust your butt. It's one of those kind of things. You'll never trust the lady in black. And
I
so
did
that's where
hear
that came from.
part of the story that in the day, qualifying at Darlington was a month long.
Yeah.
And the teams showed up, I guess, when their travel or the weather was good, ran their qualifying laps, got their time, and then when they showed up for the race, they put that sealer stuff down.
Right.
And
yeah, the bear grease. Yeah, really. Yeah, that for the first, I'm not too sure after that, probably a few years after the first Southern 500, but the first one, it took a month to qualify those 75 cars. And they had a lady try to qualify. Her name was Dorothy Scholl, and she spun out 3 times during qualifying, so they said, no, you can't run. So, but yeah, that was something. The qualifying runs were 10 laps.
wow.
10 laps, and in fact, Indianapolis was 10 laps at one time, too. But I can't even imagine what it would cost. Well, there wasn't much there. You could probably get a room for a couple bucks a night, you know, but still, you're there for a month? That's just crazy. Yeah. But Wally Campbell got the pole, and he had an Oldsmobile that was owned by a guy named Wally Marks, and it had been in a collision. And what they didn't know was that the water pump pulley was bent, and it caused a vibration with the fan, and the fan broke off and went through the radiator. But Wally might have won that race. How about that? So
I always thought it was because everybody hit the wall with the tire and made it black.
well, yeah, oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, well, that's back in the day when they didn't know about tires and they were blowing tires. Some cars had 50 tires that they used. They'd go out in the parking lot and take wheels and tires off of spectators' cars. But Johnny Mantz knew that the tires were going to be a problem, and he used thick ply truck tires, and he never changed the tire. And that's how he won the race in that little Plymouth. It was a little 6-cylinder Plymouth just chugging along the bottom of the track. I think he might have been the slowest qualifier, but he was a tortoise in the hare, you know? That's really something.
With Ronnie Bouchard there, we won a bush race at Darlington. And back then they were running the Daytona tire because it was so hard and everything. They really didn't have a good tire for Darlington.
Right.
And believe it or not, we won a race without changing tires.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Never changed it at Darlington. Never changed a tire.
That's amazing.
But that was back in '82. And they were running the Daytona tire there at Darlington.
I'll be darned. Yeah, we were there for that race. I remember that. It's always hot.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty darn tough. That's for sure. So it should be interesting to see what happens this week at Darlington. See if Jimmy Johnson gets more. Well, is he going to run? I wonder.
I don't know if he's running there.
Yeah, he's got to get some more seat time with that new car, I think. You know.
Go Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson. Go Kyle.
Yeah, got to get old Kyle out there. He's amazing. What a natural ability he's got. You know, he's really something. And to see what he does at Indianapolis, they say his practice speeds were real good.
Yep.
And this is hard to believe. Rick Hendrick had never been to an Indy 500, and this will be his first Indy 500. Isn't that something?
It's good. It's good for the sport for him.
Oh boy!
You know, he's just such a talented driver. You
Yep.
know, I'm a big fan of his now. So
Yeah. Well, years ago when Rob Moroso ran the double, he was driving for Felix Sabates, and he said, Felix said, I gave Robbie an unlimited budget, and he surpassed it. So you can run into a little bit of money there, you know.
Advanced Auto Parts is running a contest where they fly you to the 500 and then fly you to Charlotte for the 600.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That'd be hard to do as a spectator,
Oh,
much less a
man.
driver.
You're not kidding.
Yeah.
Well, what an adventure that would be, though. Huh?
Yeah.
Love to see who wins that. Yeah, that'd be wild. Did you ever have any open wheel experience?
I just, you know, New England there, that's where I really come from. It's Hudson Pines Speedway, Sally. They ran super modifieds all the time. You know, that's what Bentley ran when he
Yeah.
began. And
Well, those supers are monsters, aren't
yeah,
they?
yeah, love them. I love them
Oh,
to death,
gosh.
you know.
Yeah.
I always go up now from a month from middle August to September. I go to the Oxford 250,
Oh, yeah.
and you know they got the 350 supers there, and then they got the big block supers there,
Yeah.
and they got a bunch of other classes they run before the 250 for 3 days.
Wow.
And it's a hell of a show, the Oxford 250.
Man,
I
that
love
would be
it.
something.
And then I go over to Oswego the next week for the Classic.
Yep.
And it's nice to be over there. I see a lot of old friends over there.
Sure.
You know, it's a good trip. I love the supers.
Oh, man. Those things, they rattle your teeth when they come by. You know, I don't know how those guys do it. They're, I can't even think that fast, and they're out there running around like
I drove a 350 super there probably about 8 years ago. And,
Really?
you know, I just loved it. I went out and run 50 laps, you know. And I had a great time at Star Speedway, spun it once, you know, but kept on going, you know.
Did you see God?
No.
You didn't see God? No. Oh, that would be a hoot.
I probably really wasn't going fast enough. So.
Oh, see. Those things got some hellacious acceleration, though, don't they?
Yeah, the biggest feel in them is that wing. When you let off that gas, that wing goes up and just plants you down.
Oh, no
Then
kidding.
when you step on it going down, you know, coming out of the turn, you can
Yeah.
feel the wing drop down. And
I'll
just,
be darned. I'll be darned. Yeah, because the wing's on a swivel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing. Would you like to try that one time, Tony?
I don't know how hard it is to get into the car. That would be the first thing. But yeah,
Have you ever done any racing?
no.
No. No. Have you ever wanted to?
Oh yeah, I did the Richard Petty thing.
Oh, yeah,
and
okay.
All of that. Yeah. I
Did
mean,
you
it's-
drive?
Yeah.
Did it-
Oh, what's the point of riding?
Yeah, you got a point there. Yeah, I rode. They wouldn't let you drive at the time, back when I did it.
Oh,
Yeah, and they didn't even let you put a helmet on. Yeah. I mean, you could, but a guy showed up with a fire suit and a helmet, and everybody made fun of him. But now, you know, that's part of the deal.
Yep.
Yeah, he was just ahead of his time. That's all. Jeez. So, did you ever do the Richard Petty driving school or anything like that?
No. I've driven enough of them.
Yeah. So, what was the secret to setting up the right car for the right race, the right track?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I had some real good teachers. You know, Bob Johnson, you know, learned a lot from Bob as wild as he was, you know. And then, you know, I got to know David Ive. Worked with David for a
Oh,
while.
yeah. He goes back to the old Dyguard days.
Yeah, and even before then, Vic Kangas.
Oh, really?
When I was about 12 years old, you know, I'd sneak in the pits all the time. My old man would find me, kick my ass out of the pits. So I'd kind of help Vic and Tinker Perosion drove for him back then. And I got in the pits there after the race, and Vic was loading the car up. and it spit a plank out on the ramp.
Oh, jeez.
Got me right across the leg there.
Oh.
Broke my leg.
Really?
Yeah, I'm laying on the ground, and all of a sudden I hear my father, "You stupid." I got up and I ran for 2 miles with a broken leg.
With a broken leg.
Oh, did I get in trouble?
Oh, that's funny. You mentioned Vic. I was just talking to Vic this week.
Yep.
He's doing real good. He had a graduation to go to today.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Learned a lot from Vic.
yeah, we'll get him back on the show here pretty soon. He's quite a guy, isn't he?
Yep.
Now, your dad, what did he do at Hudson? He was
Hey, he was always a long time. He was at Hudson Speedway handicapping for about 50 years.
oh, was he really?
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Pine Speedway and he was young all the way until that closed in '73, and then on Saturday nights. Then after that, he'd go to Star Speedway.
Yeah. So you had no choice. You were going to be part of racing no matter what.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's how it worked out with us. My dad was an announcer, and we'd go to the track every week. And before that, he was just a motorhead, and we'd go to the track every week. And it just it's part of our DNA, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
No.
Some of the I think at least a couple of the drivers you worked with were dirt racers and then moved to asphalt. Is it?
Dave Blaney, you know.
How was that? How was that working with somebody?
I don't know. I think a dirt driver going to asphalt is a lot more experienced. You know, just because they're going sideways all the time.
Yes, I've always
They
believed
learn when
that.
to step on the gas, how much to step on the gas.
Sure. And they feel it in their
Yeah.
butt,
Yeah.
which you don't really get on asphalt, you know?
Yeah, like Kyle Lawson, he told me once, he says, listen, you just drive sometimes like you got an egg under the gas pedal. And a lot of the short tracks, them guys, sprint cars run, they don't even go full throttle.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So,
That's something. Yeah, that's. I still keep thinking about Larson and what he's doing. It's going to be amazing. He could. It's possible that he would do the best of any of the doubles. You know, it's very possible.
you know, he's got a big step to go because remember Kurt Busch, he did a hell of a
Oh
job.
yeah, that's right.
Kurt did a
pretty
hell of a
good.
job.
Well, we're going to take another quick break. This might be the last one. I'm not sure. I think so. And we'll be right back with Birdie.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. Welcome to Homewood Suites by Hilton in Daytona Beach. You're right in the middle of all the action. Daytona International Speedway, the airport, One Daytona, Florida's newest entertainment and retail destination, and of course, the world's most and 2-bedroom suites, along with our popular King Studios. You won't need your full kitchen as breakfast and evening social. It's like home away from home. Go to HomewoodDaytona.com for Homewood Suites by Hilton in Daytona Beach. We're back from where it all began. Racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host Buzz McKim and co-host Rich Combs.
Hey, well, it's Tony this week, but that's all right. We'll get Rich back here. This segment's being brought to you locally by Homewood Suites by Hilton over on Bill France Boulevard. And every room's a suite, and they got a great breakfast and a great happy hour, and they're good people. So if you have anybody coming to town that you want to impress, show them Homewood Suites by Hilton right there on Bill France Boulevard. So when you guys won Talladega, you were an all New England team pretty much?
Yeah.
And I mean, you must have been on top of the world for a month after that.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
There was so many parties that went on after that, but, you know, most of it, probably the 5, 6 of us, you know, we got back to the shop the next day and started working for the next race.
Is
you
that
know?
right? I'll be darned.
There was no days off because you got to remember back then, you know, you were at the racetrack 3 or 4, maybe sometimes 5 days a week.
Oh, that's right.
You know?
Wow.
So we had to get working to
And
go.
you had to travel?
Yeah.
Holy
Especially
cow.
from Connecticut.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. That was not the center of racing, was it?
No.
Geez. So it didn't take much to get you to move to Charlotte, I suppose.
No,
huh?
not at all.
Yeah. I imagine life was a lot interesting, a lot easier back then.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Charlotte used to be a small town, you know, and it surrounded Mooresville and everything. You
Yeah,
know?
that's right.
Now it's so big, it's unreal. It's like here. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
In the past 3 years, we got almost double the people here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Charlotte is a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
It used to take me about 25 minutes to get to work in the morning when I worked up there at the Hall of Fame from Rock Hill. And before we left there, it got to be close to an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's just no easy way to get into town. And they call it progress, but I don't know about that, you know. Geez. Now, your shop, was it based in Mooresville or was it in Charlotte itself?
Which one?
The BB.
Yeah, we were out probably a quarter of a mile from home in the Moody, right down the
Oh,
road.
really?
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
That's a
Yeah.
shop that Cale Yalvo bought when he started
Yeah.
owning his own
Okay.
team.
And that's all gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a shame. It's a runway.
Yeah.
And all that history gone.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's something else. What was the best time you ever had in racing? Was there a team or a time that you just said, man, that was just, this is it?
I was just lucky. I met so many great people, had so many good opportunities, and, 4 championships, and I think I won 42, 44 races.
Golly, that's incredible.
I've just been so lucky.
Yep.
And the thing that got me towards the last couple of years is seeing how happy the guys were from winning. It just made me feel good.
Yeah.
That they were all happy that
That's
we
really
won.
neat. You think anybody has any fun anymore?
It's hard to believe now. They get kids out of school that know how to work a computer now that never seen a race car before.
Yeah.
And they're doing this stuff.
Yeah, really. Makes you wonder if anybody's having any fun at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So much pressure, and I just don't know how they do it. Yeah, so, would you go back?
No, I'm done.
Yeah, you've had enough.
I'm done. I
Yeah.
did it for 30, 40 years.
Golly. Yeah, what finally told you this was time to quit?
I had a aortic aneurysm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they told me in 2000, they says, you got to slow down a lot here.
Yeah.
You can't keep going the way
Holy
you're going.
cow.
I said, oh, damn. But I was lucky. It lasted, I made it another, 18 years before I had to have the operation.
Really?
I had it done 4 years ago.
I'll be darned.
I
And
was
you're
on-
okay?
I was on the table for 9.5 hours.
Wow, is that right?
Yeah.
Son of
But
a gun.
I was lucky I come through it, and but I'm still living.
Yeah, I guess. And no after effects?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it.
Mhm.
I still go to therapy 3
Yeah.
days a week.
Oh, do you really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's,
got to take care of yourself, that's for
yeah.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, I had a double bypass back in 2011, and I still work out 3 days a week with my 95-year-old mother over there.
Yeah.
She works out. She works harder than I do, but that's how we keep going.
Once they break that and cut that rib cage,
Yeah.
you're hurting for
Yes,
a while.
absolutely. We got the racing stripe to prove it, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're in pretty good shape, Tony, aren't you?
I walk every day,
Oh, that's
so
good.
they about an hour. So yeah, that's stop at every dog to try and pet them.
Yeah.
I think so. I feel good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real good. We got some folks we have to say thank you to for doing this for us. We've got Danny back here on the board. She does a wonderful job. Yeah, and we've got Mike with the applause sign. Hey, Mike, he does a good job there. He's an expert. He got a degree in that, It's amazing. And Studebaker Bob, thank you for being here today, buddy. We really appreciate that. And we got Olin Hopes, our legend, our living legend. Yeah, and the long-suffering McKim women over there. Yeah, how about that? And but it's been a great day, and we thank you so much for coming and telling us your story.
Yeah, anytime.
Great. Was there anything you would change?
In life,
Yeah.
there's probably a lot of things, but I can't talk about them now.
You'd rather be born rich instead of good looking, right? So what did you do with all that money from all those championships? Huh?
When I got divorced back in 2000,
Yeah, that'll do it.
it all left me there.
Oh, darn, son of a gun. But you were able to make a pretty good living back then, though, weren't you?
Yep. Yeah, it's you could make a good living then, So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite track?
I'd say Charlotte because it would Robbie winning 3 in a row, but I also say Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Oh, really?
You know,
IRP, huh?
Sat on the pole with Randy and won both races.
Yep.
I think with Johnny, we started second and led at most all the races. Got a flat with 2 to go.
Oh, man, is that right? Son of a gun.
I like Indy, you know, and
Yeah.
of course Charlotte.
Yeah. Well, that's something. Yeah, there's something about that track that's special. I know, Pearson won something like 12 straight poles.
Yep.
And so Humpy Wheeler figured out what the deal was. There was a hump in the first turn that Pearson would hit. And Humpy says, I got that straightened out. Whitman got it squared away. And Pearson came back after it was done and said, it's the wrong turn. He said, my secret turn is the third turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever deal with Humpy?
A little bit. Doug Rice, I did a lot with Doug
yeah,
Rice and
sure.
stuff, you know, when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Cannell.
Oh, yeah. Good old Bill.
Did a lot with Bill, you
Uh-huh.
know.
Yep.
He was a real nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we had a lot of fun with
Well,
him
what
doing
an
shows.
announcer, huh?
Yeah.
Well, he was great. Yeah, he's something else. Well, we can't thank you enough for coming back and telling us even more stuff than we thought we knew. It's really great. And I see you got a ring there. What's that from?
3 in a row at Base Motorsports.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. I've got 3 diamonds. 1, 2, 3. And the blue, the color of the car.
Right.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, and so Bob was a pretty good guy to work for, huh?
Yep. Bill.
Bill
Bumgarner.
Bumgarner, right?
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, that's pretty good. So just think about the ones that got away, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I had a lot of great people work for me, and
Yeah.
I was proud a lot of them went on to be crew chiefs. And
Mm-hmm. Sure.
so you always had good guys work with me.
Yeah, that's the key, isn't it?
Yep.
And you have to know how to keep them too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most funnest guy I had that took a lot of pressure off me was Billy Nazareth.
Oh,
Did work
Billy.
For Richie.
Oh man, Billy is a
worked with-
prince.
For me for a while.
Yes,
Took
it-
a lot of pressure off me because at base there we went to 2 teams and then to 3 teams.
Oh, geez.
You know, so
Yeah.
he helped a lot.
Yeah, Billy Nashowitz. He was Richie Evans' crew chief for a number of
Yeah.
years, and what a great guy.
Yeah.
Well, he'll talk your ear off if you mention Richie. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, folks, we'll see you next week. We got something kind of special coming up. We'll let you know. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there, for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
The Legends of Racing radio show originates live from the very spot where beach racing began, racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. Join us next time